Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. John Henry Soto here with you as always. It is 7 a.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee. It is August 4th, 2026. We are more than halfway through the year. Can you believe it? And what a summer it's been. Crazy summer. Hope you're doing well where you are. Everything's going well here. We're actually going to talk today about this crazy music industry and the business side of it and how artists have to balance this whole crazy world. Now, are they becoming the worst boss to themselves? Are they becoming a nightmare? Are they becoming, the boss that you always hate, but they themselves are becoming, meaning artists? I mean, it's a nightmare when you're out there. And not only do you have to now focus on your art, but now you got to focus on the marketing and all the things that come with it behind the scenes that people don't really realize anymore. So, the music industry has never been more accessible for independent artists. Today, a musician can record an album. They can record an album at home, right? They can distribute it worldwide. They can create their own videos, build a fan base without needing a major label. But that freedom is incredible, but it also comes with a new challenge. Artists are no longer just artists. They are expected to become their own managers, marketing teams, accountants, content creators, photographers, and business strategists. The question is whether creative freedom has turned into creative overload. And boy, I tell you, I see that in my own stuff that I do, right? I mean, my own work is suffers sometimes because I'm constantly doing content. I'm doing this show in the mornings. I record a show on Thursday night. It airs on Sunday night. And I'm doing all this content to kind of promote my brand and promote my work, but it's not the work. And then trying to get behind the camera again to shoot my next film, trying to find time to pretty much do anything is always a challenge because I have to kind of do these kinds of things. Plus, not to mention all the content that I'm creating behind the scenes and everything else. It takes a lot. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to cover how is it that you can actually be a better boss to yourself. And I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can do that at the end of them. As I always state, these are just my own personal 5 ways of balancing things. I'm sure everybody can come up with their own system. You can go to ChatGPT and it'll give you 20 things you can do. But these are mine, these are proven, and these help balance. So we're gonna talk about that today. Now, many musicians are spending more time just trying to keep up with the demand of the industry than actually making music, right? They are worrying about algorithms, story media posts, engagement numbers, branding, and constant content creation. So we're going to be covering musicians today, right? This kind of applies to a lot of different industries. It applies to the film industry as well, right? But we're going to be covering mainly music today. So, you know, most musicians, that's what they're worried about. Instead of spending hours writing songs and developing their craft, they're pressured to feed the machine every day. The same tools that gave artists independence can become the source of burnout if they don't create boundaries. And that's the key thing. You you have to create boundaries and you have to treat everything like a business. You have the time where you create, you have the time where you actually do your content, you have your time when you actually have to record your, whatever you're going to post, your photos, anything that has to do with behind the scenes things. You gotta find the time to do that. You have to kind of really be disciplined on that, right? The reality is that today's musicians have to think like entrepreneurs. Talent alone never has been enough, but now the business side has become more visible than ever. The challenge is learning how to balance being a creative person with being the CEO of your own career. The most successful independent artist understands that they don't have to do anything themselves. They need to build systems, collaborate, and team. Uh, yeah, and learn how to manage their time and energy. So, creating systems, and I did a whole show on this before, on creating systems. It's the most important thing. You have to really audit your life to do that. You got to know what time do you normally get up in the morning? You may have to get up a little earlier. Um, what time do you go to bed at night? You might have to either go to bed earlier or you might have to wake up or stay up a little bit later. You have to see where are the places that you go to where you can get some of this work done. So, on your commute, not driving, but if you're on public transportation, that's where you can work on some of your content. As you're sitting down or as you're working, you can write down some of the work that you're doing for that day. If you have a 9 to 5 kind of a gig, when you get off of work at 5 o'clock, you have to be disciplined to get home. Okay, I know I get home at 5:45. I got to eat something. I got to spend a little time with the family. And at 7:30, boom, I'm going to work. And here's the system that I'm doing. At 7:30, I'm doing this platform. I'm going to record all this. I'm going to do a video, and then I'm going to write something. And that's your evening. May take you like an hour. It may take you an hour and a half. And by 9 p.m., 9:30, you're done. That's when you wrap yourself up, put your pajamas on, and then go back and then hit the sack. This is a system that you would put into place, and building these systems not only through your own actions but also behind the scenes, meaning um, the things that are working on your own, like using AI models, AI agents to post for you, to schedule things, to manage your calendar, to manage your email, using the tools that we have to take away some of the minutia of things that we have to do. Some of the things that are like we have to do it, but it's like, ugh, you know, to do that, you can use some of those tools, and that means creating systems. So when you create a system, you can then focus on the music, playing music, and then maybe you could spend the day like on a weekend day. Say, okay, Saturday morning, I'm going to get up at 8 o'clock, and I'm just going to write till 1 o'clock. Right? I'm going to have a little bit of breakfast, some coffee in the middle there, but I'm just going to write, and you're going to work on the craft. And maybe you have gigs at night. Maybe you got to perform. So there's always things that you can do, and we're going to go over that in a minute. So bring your own being your own boss doesn't mean working yourself into exhaustion. It means creating a structure that allows your creativity to survive. The goal isn't to become a machine that constantly produces content. The goal is to build a sustainable career where the artist, the business, and the person behind the music can all grow together. Systems. The best independent artists aren't just talented, they are disciplined, organized, and intentional about protecting the reason they started creating in the first place. So that's the whole key. You have to stay really focused on because what happens is a lot of artists, they get into the workaday world. They just like they're gonna plan it later on, and next thing you know, a year goes by and you haven't done anything, and then 2 years goes by and then you haven't done anything, and then other issues happen. You got financial issues, then you got um then you have kids. You have kids come into the issue. Now your whole life has changed because now you got to drop things in order to take care of your kids. So there's a lot of different things that come into play that if you don't build a system to manage it, you're gonna have a little bit of problem, and you're gonna burn out. Then you're not gonna do the art. And the reason I talk about this is because I want people to do art. I want people just to create. I want them to be out there making their music. So here are 5 ways that musicians can become better bosses to themselves. So number one, create a realistic schedule. This is what I was just talking about. You're going to audit your time, right? Treat your career, treat your creative career like a business. Set specific times for writing, recording, marketing, networking, and rest instead of trying to do everything every day. Very, very important to do this. This is where I'm saying about creating a system. You create a system that it's gonna give you the time to do all these things in a week's time. Like I said, you get home, let's say at 5:45, you have dinner, you spend some time, and at 7:30 at night you begin. So if you have a lot of different things, you can actually do that, right? You can go from um, creating a realistic schedule, right? Um, and you could say, okay, well, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? Okay, Monday, I'm gonna do some writing. 7:30 at night, I'm gonna write. On on Tuesday, I'm gonna do some marketing. I'm gonna do my content. I'm gonna do my social media. I'm gonna do my all my my outside social media content. That's gonna be on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm gonna do networking. I'm gonna get on the computer. I'm gonna try to send out some of my work, some of my stuff to the to people that I know. I'm gonna start networking. I'm gonna go out somewhere. I'm gonna go to a club. I'm gonna go meet somebody, right? And rest, and then the rest, and then you'll take like Friday night. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna spend time with my family, my partner, whatever it is, and that makes it much more doable. And then on the weekend, you got your weekend. You can set that up as well with different things, but you have to create a schedule that's realistic, not something that's overwhelming to you. Okay. All right. Number two, separate creating from promoting. So give yourself time to make art without worrying about content like likes or analytics, right? Protect your creative process so it doesn't become another job you dread. You know what I mean? That's the key thing, right? You don't want to have another job that you hate, you know? Um, and so, as I said, when you create the schedules and you create the business, you create that realistic schedule. Within that, you're going to put when am I doing the creating and the promoting. Now, this kind of covers it on the first one, but what I mean is almost like psychologically separate it. Like know that when you're promoting, and just make sure you get that straight. Number three, learn the business basics. Understand your finances, royalties, contracts, publishing, and marketing. You don't have to become an expert, but you need to know how your career works. So you got to learn the business, right? You can do that online. You can do courses. You can buy books. You can read things. You can see videos on YouTube of successful managers talking about it. There's a lot of things that you can do it, but you have to learn it. Learn the finances. Learn how you get paid royalties. Learn about contracts. I was talking to a lawyer here that I've met, an entertainment lawyer, and man, the wealth of information she had was unbelievable. Publishing and marketing, separate all those things, but learn the business. Each one of them, you don't have to know everything about it, but know enough that if you're at the table having a conversation, you're not lost. Number four, build a team around your weaknesses. Find collaborators who can help you with areas you struggle, like with video, design, social media, management, or business. Great leaders know they can't do everything alone. You need to find people that can help. So if you know that you're not good at, like, let's say you're not good at social media, maybe you can find somebody on Fiverr, or find somebody that can do uh, uh, inexpensive work for you that won't, maybe you have money and you don't have to worry about it. You just pay somebody to do your social media. Fantastic. But if you can't, you have to find people to do it. If you can't do your social media, you find somebody to do it. If you can't do your bookings, you find somebody to do it. Find people that can help you. And yeah, you may have to put out a couple of bucks, but the help that you're going to get it's going to be so great. And you're going to feel so fantastic knowing that this is being taken care of for you, that it's going to alleviate the pressures that you have. And you're going to be able to spend that time working on your craft, writing songs, which is what you're supposed to be doing, right? And the last one, number five, is measure progress beyond numbers. So followers, streams, and views matter, but they don't define your success. Focus on improving your craft, building real relationships, and creating work that you are proud of. So, when you're doing all the social media and you're doing all the marketing, you're going to be looking at the numbers. You're like, oh, I don't have any likes. I didn't get that post, got no likes, or I'm losing followers, or what's going on. I'm telling you, you can watch those numbers, you can look at them, but do not pay attention to them like they're God, because I'm telling you, it will stop your career on its tracks if you do that, and it becomes very painful as well. And your art will suffer, because now you're not creating from a moment of pure create. You're creating from a moment of stress. That, why am I losing followers? Why is this struggling for me right now? And if you're creating from that place, the music and the art that you create is going to come from that same place. So this is what I mean. Quiet, make the stuff around you, quiet that noise as much as possible. So you, as your thoughts and your spiritual being, mind, body, and spirit, can work together to create the music that is truly you, and not the music that's stressed. You don't want to put stress to paper, right? You want to put the art that comes through you. You want to put that down and feel good about it. And this takes time, but it also is but it doesn't have to take a lot of time. If you say, today I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write these 5 ways that I can become a better boss to myself, and I'm going to focus on them. Create a realistic schedule. Separate creating from promoting. Learn the business basics. Build a team around your weaknesses and measure progress beyond numbers. Those 5 things, if you just sit down today to put those things together, you're going to have you're going to alleviate a lot of pressure, and you're going to have more control over your career. And having control alleviates the pressures around you, right? When you don't have control, when you don't know where things are coming from, when you don't know where you're going, the pressures become higher. Your art is going to suffer. Okay. All right. Well, I hope this helps everyone. As I said before, as I always say here with this morning show, what I like to do here is to do quick, boom, 20, under 20 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. I'm at 17 minutes now of work, of content that you can immediately use and apply to your career and have it and build results, quick results, quick nuggets of things. And if you don't use any of this, at least it'll make you think, maybe, are my systems better than they were yesterday? Am I building better systems? Am I changing systems that I thought would working that I thought worked but that didn't? Or am I changing systems because the industry has changed, and now I don't no longer have to do that? AI changed the system a lot, right? So now you can build some AI agents. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to Claude. They have a free course there you can take. There's free videos on how to do all that stuff. It's not a cakewalk, but you can learn how to do it if you really want to have it take control over these things. Very important. Once you start doing that, you take control of your time. When you control your time, your mind relaxes. When your mind is relaxed, you create better art. That's just facts of life. All right, friends. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I will see you all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central. Don't forget that I also do this. I'm showing on the screen here every day at 8 a.m. Central. And that is only on that platform that you see on the screen there, which I cannot mention because of jealousy. Although they probably see it anyway because they have AI agents that can read everything on the screen. And that's today's show. I don't know why I showed that, but here it is there. And that is today. So take care, everybody. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. God bless you. And as always, peace.